Hey guys, it's Prediction Friday, and I wrote a couple weeks ago that I was no longer going to predict that the Packers sort of hit it on all cylinders, offense, defense, and special teams, until they showed it to me, until they proved it. I'm going back on that because I'm looking at this upcoming game against the Lions, and I know that there's a lot of negativity. I know there's a lot of people who are not satisfied, and I'm one of them, with how we played against the Panthers, how we played against the Broncos. I'm with you guys on that. But that was the Carolina Panthers, the undefeated Carolina Panthers and the undefeated Denver Broncos. So I'm looking at this game, and I think I said just the other day that mark it down, Sunday's game is a blowout. I am calling it, and if I get this wrong, I'm going to get plastered, I'm sure, by everybody. But that's okay. I know Jeff out there, he's like, I wish I could say that. He and I said the same thing, keep reminding us. I'm not saying this is going to be an easy game. No NFL game is easy, number one. Add to that, this is an NFC North rival team. We play each other twice a year. We know each other well. But keep in mind, that goes both ways. The Lions aren't going to surprise the Packers either. What we are going to do is outplay them on offense, outplay them on defense, and outplay them on special teams. Aaron Rodgers is going to have at least 3 touchdowns through the air. We are going to get, and this is crucial, I need to get back to this, we're going to get the running attack back on track with James Starks as the new starter. And the defense is going to get back to its sacking the quarterback, confusing the quarterback, making a difference, turning the ball over ways that we saw earlier in the season. Now, why am I so confident in this? Have I not seen the last 2 games? No, I saw the last 2 games. The difference to me is simply, it's twofold. Number one, the Packers were playing on the road against 2 undefeated teams. That's a completely different story than coming back to Lambeau and playing a team that has won, one game all season. The Lions are not anywhere near the competition that literally any of the other teams Green Bay has played have been. Maybe Chicago, and then you got to weigh into it the NFC North rivalry too. But this Detroit Lions team is in absolute and utter disarray. They have gotten rid of Lombardi. They got rid of their offensive coordinator. They got rid of their general manager. They got rid of their president. The only one they're waiting for is for their head coach. They're going to fire the head coach at the end of the season. The reason they're going to do it is because they don't know what else to do. At some point, the Detroit Lions have come to believe that the coaches play the games. This is the only. They were more than happy to let Ndamukong Suh walk in free agency and not pay him. He's the only reason they were in the playoffs in the first place. And now they're going to fire basically the entire coaching staff because the Detroit Lions apparently think that the coach, the general manager, and the president play the games. I, for one, am very thankful that Green Bay understands that it's the players that play the games. Coaching is very important. And we go back and forth with the banter about that. This is a new year with our offensive coordinator now calling the plays. Is that part of the problem? It could be part of the problem, but the players play the game. So, I believe the matchups just don't call for any kind of competition on the part of the Detroit Lions in this game. Plain and simple. This team is not fit to be anywhere but under the boot of the Green Bay Packers. And that is how I'm going to call this game. After the freaking Panthers game, I did not feel that way. And a lot of you guys still don't feel that way. And I know I sound like a homer. I sound like I'm not being realistic about some very real problems that might be going on and some things that we truly need to get corrected. I'm not saying that. I promise you. I'm not saying that there aren't things that need to be corrected. I'm not saying that Maybe the play calling is suspect at times. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers has not seemed to be himself. Our wide receiver core does not seem to be really taking control of games. And this is the most important one. Our running game has not been there on offense. And I'm also not saying that our defense isn't giving up too many yards, okay? This is what I'm saying. The Detroit Lions just can't stack up. So, with that in mind, I am going to call, Packers are going to break 40 in this game. 42 to 17. Lions get 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And the Packers utterly blow out the Lions because, I may not have mentioned the other side of why I think this is going to happen is because the Packers are going to be pissed off. A lot of us, and I was with everybody else too, that thought after the Broncos game, the Packers were going to be really angry going into the game against the Panthers, and it was kind of disappointing not to see that. This is the game we're going to see it in. We're going to see the wrath of the Green Bay Packers unleashed in this game. It's going to happen. I wish it would have happened last week, and then we still could have won this game very easily. And the big, we've got a big stretch here. 4 NFC North games in a row. Minnesota Vikings at Minnesota is probably the most dangerous team in that regard. They're not going to beat us either. But the Detroit Lions are not going to stand a chance. So 42-17. And I've got this peaceful, easy feeling, and don't even ask me why. Maybe it's because it's Friday and the weekend is here. Maybe I've just got green and gold colored glasses, but we'll see after Sunday. Either way, obviously, what we really want to see is a Packer win. That's the most important thing because winning these NFC North division rivalry games are the most important thing to winning the division, which is the most important long-term goal for this team. You win the division, you're in the playoffs, and anything can happen. So, well, that's pretty much it for me. I know that was sort of general and a little different than the way I usually do it, but JR's got his prediction. I don't even know what he said yet. So let's go over to JR and see what he has to say prediction-wise for this game, and that'll close it up for Prediction Friday at GreenBayPackerNation.com.
Well, it's time for video predictions again, and unfortunately, my prediction for last week came true. I was kind of hoping that we would put up a win, but we move on to the next game against the Lions, and of course, this is one of the critical games in this next stretch because it's against a division opponent. 1-7 1-7 Lions team doesn't seem like the kind of team that's going to give us much trouble, but who knows? It's hard to tell when it's a divisional rivalry. So, several things that I did want to point out that I was kind of noticing throughout the reviewing of the past few Lions games is a couple things. One, I think, especially in the Kansas City Chiefs game, the Chiefs really utilized the tight end pretty heavily, and in light of the fact that Richard Rodgers has really been a bright spot in the last few games, I think that we're gonna learn from that and just kind of use Richard Rodgers quite a bit. The Lions have a passing game that is ranked number 9 in the nation, but that's kind of a skewed statistic because their run game ranks dead last. I think the only reason their passing game ranks that high is because they have no choice but to pass. So I really think that we'll be able to shut down the Lions' run, force them into a passing game, and then we're going to have some fun with them. I expect we're going to have a couple of interceptions. We're going to probably have at least 3 sacks on Matthew Stafford. The Chiefs had 3 sacks in the first half against him. And so I expect that's going to be the case. The Lions really are terrible in run defense. Not that the Packers have been doing much better, but because the Lions are so bad against the run, I really expect that we're just going to give them the 1-2 punch of Starks and Lacy. And yes, I don't think we're going to bench Lacy. We're going to continue hammering the ball in the run game. We're going to force them to stack the box, and that's going to start opening up our passing game. I don't see a whole lot of pressure that the Lions are getting on opposing quarterbacks, so that would be a sigh of relief this game. But I believe that we're going to do a much better job protecting Aaron this game. He's going to find people that are open. And he's going to start connecting with people. Richard Rodgers in particular, I expect that we'll continue to use probably more Starks out of the backfield in the passing game than Lacey. But I expect we're going to do a little bit more with screens as the Lions are forced to get more aggressive. So I really expect 2 disappointing losses, plus a 1-7 team, plus home again at Lambeau. I really suspect that we're going to put up quite a few points, not just offensively, but I wouldn't be surprised if our defense scores. I'm going to say that we're going to be a plus side of 30 points. I'm going to give us 38 points in this game, and I kind of figure that the Lions will probably work their way, kind of claw their way into a field goal position and put one through the uprights, and then maybe pick up a touchdown during garbage time. So my prediction for the home game against the Lions is going to be a 38-10 Packer victory. Go Pack!